right, thank you. Looking to approve the agenda with a few adjustments. The adjustments to the agenda was item 4 under the treasurer's report. And then there was a few adjustments under the superintendent's with new personnel. So this was items 2 and then items 5, and then an executive session will be at the end. There will not be any votes after that executive session, but any other changes to the agenda? Pull anything out? Anyone have issues? Okay, looking for a motion to approve the adjustments. Melinda's first.
Second.
Laura is a second. Any items worth discussing? Or we'll talk about it at the time. Okay, we'll talk about it at the time. Do you want to call the roll?
Ms. Ebright,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas. Yes. Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Lightfoot.
Yes, motion carries and those adjustments are approved. Moving on to the board minutes. Hopefully everyone had a chance. Those got distributed to the board members prior to the meeting. Hopefully everyone had a chance to review those. Any adjustments or changes that need to be made? If none, I just need a motion to approve. So moved. I got Andy as a first. Kim is the second. Any items, discussion? All right, if you'd like to call the roll on approving the minutes.
Ms. Ebright,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas. Yes. Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Lightfoot.
Yes, motion carries and those are approved. Moving on, one of the items that we have periodically is board recognition. So we wanted to take a moment to thank and recognize Advanced Tree Services and the Popery family. Any more than just me saying? You want to say
Miss
anything, Mr.
Cassidy.
Newcomer? Oh, yeah. All right.
And I might add that Joe also does my trees, and he's a really great guy.
Okay. Well, we appreciate their service and coming in and helping out with those. They are gorgeous out there and did a wonderful job from that side of things. And we appreciate them coming in and taking time out to educate our students and teachers as well when it comes to it. So we appreciate it and want to thank them and show recognition for their efforts. So appreciate it. Moving on to visitors' comments. There were none posted prior to the meeting, so I don't have to read any. Is there anyone from the audience that's here that would like to speak? All right, hearing none, we will move on to informative reports and communications. We are going to go semi-backwards. So Mr. Shout, high school.
All right, keeping us on our toes. I have nothing to add to my report. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Schaup in the? All right, your report was provided to us and we appreciate it. We don't have any questions at this time. Please pass along to everyone in your building that we appreciate everything they're doing and getting back into a semi groove when it comes to getting going. So we appreciate it.
Will do. Thank you.
So now we're going to go to elementary just because middle school was always in the middle. So there's no way if I did it forward or backward that elementary or middle school was going to be in the middle. So
I have nothing to add to my submitted report, but I did want to add just a quick comment about some of the changes that we've all been collectively working on making for the end of the day pickup, especially with parking. So I know Mr. Kelly, Mr. Bloom, Mr. Shout, Mrs. Barrett, all of us, including Deputy Crouch, have been working diligently to try to make that better. And we know we're all constrained with what we have available. And I think the plan we have in place has been working. I have not received any negative feedback. I've gotten very good feedback from parents. It's still a work in progress, but we think we have a good plan in place. So just wanted to add that. So any questions?
any questions for Mr. Newcomer? All right. Well, we appreciate your report, appreciate all that you're doing, and we appreciate all the parents that are kind of working with you and trying to be patient through pickup and drop off. So please pass along to everyone in your building that we appreciate everything they do as well as we're getting ready and getting that groove back in. All right, middle school.
Saving me for last.
That's right.
I do not have anything at this time to add to the report that I had already submitted, but we'll take questions if you have any.
Any questions? All right. Well, we appreciate you submitting the report and it was reviewed by the board and we don't have any questions at this time. Please pass along to everyone in your building the same, that we appreciate everything that they're doing and getting back into the middle school swing and helping out with all, especially the sixth graders as they are getting acclimated to a new building. So,
Absolutely. Thanks.
all right. BBEA highlights. Anyone want to speak? Okay. Anything to add, Mr. Bloom?
No.
Okay. Teaching and learning report.
I have nothing to add. Do you have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. Thank you for adding the Google Analytics. Hopefully that data is somewhat useful. So and look forward to seeing how it is put in place and used. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks.
Any other comment? All right. Well, thank you for the report and thanks for everything that you do. Maintenance, transportation, food service.
I have nothing to add to my report, but we'll answer any questions you have.
Questions from the board? All right. We don't have any questions. Thank you for the report and thank you for all that your people are doing right now is kind of definitely getting into the groove and feeling everything out. So I think good communication is being had and we're definitely working in the right direction. So thank you. And please pass that along to all your staff.
Thank you. I will.
Athletics and facilities.
He is at the middle school football game.
Does he have anything for you to tell?
No,
Okay.
but I've been spending a lot of time with them, so I can do my best to act like Justin and answer the questions like Justin, if you would like.
That's like a loaded. I'm not saying anything. That's all I'm going to say. No, I think if we have any direct questions, please direct it to Mr. Slaughterback and we'll get them answered from that standpoint.
This
So,
isn't necessarily a question, but I was asked by Don Masters to thank everybody for the wonderful dedication of the football field and that you owe him lunch.
breakfast.
Breakfast, sorry.
Yeah.
So I told him I would pass that message on. So
All right. Well, if Mr. Masters is listening, yes, I owe him breakfast. So I'll make good on that. So, all right. Thank you. And please pass along. That was between that and Mr. Swaysgood and the dedication at the soccer field. Those are very nice. And driving by now on 220, it's nice to see that on the side of the press box as well for the soccer. So, technology report. Mr. Smith, anything to add?
I don't have anything further to add. Any questions?
All right. The board appreciates your report and we don't have any questions at this time. Thanks for all that you're doing because I know right now is a big time of fixed break and all the fun that comes with the number of devices that we have in this school. So we appreciate all your hard work. Special education report.
I just have one change. Where we were at 13 new students with special needs, we're now at 14. So we've increased our number by 1. Do you happen to have any questions for our report?
not question, another comment though. I really appreciated seeing the pictures of your staff. That was really awesome because I had no idea. So thank you.
Awesome. That's one way we're trying to build more connections with all the community as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good. I'm glad it
Appreciate that.
worked.
All right. No other questions from the board. We appreciate everything that you're doing with this new role and please pass along to everyone that we appreciate what they're doing as we get started and especially as new students come to you. So gifted report.
I don't have anything to add. Do you have any questions?
All right. No questions from the board. We appreciate your report. We appreciate everything that you're doing from that standpoint. And we're definitely excited to see more as the year goes on. Superintendent's report.
All right, I just wanted to, again, highlight and thank Jen, Mike, Kevin, John, Deputy Crouch, because after the first day of dismissal, and there's a board member smiling because She was kind of making fun of us when it was kind of chaos that first day. I'd like to thank all of them and Mr. Kelly especially, because as I walked away, I think I kept you until 4:30 walking around back here, and everybody came up with another plan. I appreciate the team effort, and by all accounts, it seems to be working well. It's pretty safe. So thank you. It was nice, and I didn't lose my mind. And Mr. Kelly, I appreciate you getting everyone out there with their buses to see if they can make the corners. That was very entertaining and very much appreciated. So thank you with that. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about our COVID dashboard that is now updated. It is my apologies that it took us a while to get things back up, but I just wanted to go over some numbers with you. As of right now, we have 9 students who are actively confirmed cases, and we have 36 students who are currently quarantined. With staff, we have currently 2 actively confirmed and 3 staff currently quarantined. There was some glitches, especially at the beginning of the week. There was some miscommunication, and I think we have worked out all of those issues. And Nurse Judy, I have to give her a shout out. She has been working extremely hard. She's been dealing with a lot of anger and working through that with parents. I greatly appreciate it. And some of our administrators here tonight have been on the receiving end of some anger as well. So I appreciate everyone's patience, and as we work through this, and I promise everybody, we are not trying to do things to purposely cause heartburn, distress. We are actually trying to make things easier, and there was just some miscommunication of which I guess I did not do a good enough job of making sure that we were all on the same page, but I can assure you that we're on the same page moving forward. So again, Nurse Judy, if you're listening, thank you. She has been working extremely long hours to make sure our kids and parents are informed. So, and there's been a number of administrators that have been on the phone as much as I have with some parents with their questions. So moving forward, I feel very confident that this chart will be updated, if not every day, every couple days, and be happy to talk about anything else related to that or anything else that was reported.
Frequently asked questions that maybe we should get a guidance document that you're getting repetitive questions about.
Honestly, when it was Monday and Tuesday, what it was centered around was we were calling parents and telling them to come pick up their child. And that was the #1 issue with parents. And once we corrected that, because as everyone probably knows, we can't do that if they're symptom free and they haven't been contacted by the Board of Health. We can recommend. So the biggest backlash was that, can we really send a child home without the Board of Health contacting them? Like, can we require that? We can't require it, but we can recommend it. So that by far has been the #1 pushback that we've received so far. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening in the buildings too.
So these quarantine numbers are health department quarantine.
Correct.
So then parents will be notified when their child will be going into quarantine, or we are telling them? Who's telling the parents if the children are in quarantine?
That is the Board of Health.
So and if a parent does not hear from the Board of Health, then technically the child can come to school.
Technically correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And is the numbers, since on the COVID with the numbers on the dashboard, is that gonna be updated daily now?
That is
the
our
goal?
goal. Yes, that is the goal. Now that I feel that Nurse Judy, there's some more clear discussions and guidance and maybe some better communication amongst all of us with her, I feel confident that she can do that.
So if the health department takes multiple days to get a hold of the families,
Mhm.
are we okay with the kids being in the school until the health department contacts them? If it would be multiple days past, since they are backlogged?
I actually talked to the district's lawyer about that. If a parent, because we can only recommend that they're hey, close contact. But if they have not been contacted, if that parent says we want our child to be in school, we cannot deny that. because we do not have the power to exclude based upon close contact without the Board of Health contact.
Is somebody helping Nurse Judy with the numbers to get onto the website? I know there's definitely some parents that are keeping a close eye on it. Just curious on if there's a thing. I haven't seen it, so I'm assuming there's a thing on it says when it was last updated.
Yes,
Yeah, it's, if
All of that.
you want to pass it. Okay. you can see it.
it's on the main bar there of our website.
Okay,
So it's got the last update on it.
gotcha. But somebody's helping physically get those numbers. I'm assuming she's not having to sit in there as part of her job to type them in there.
That is her job.
Okay.
That is her role. Now she's been shown how to do it. And there's enough people that can help her if she gets stuck. And it hasn't been because of a lack of effort. It's truly been because of the amount of parents that she is contacting
Mhm.
well beyond 5, 6 o'clock at night, just to be service oriented to our families. She's doing above and beyond, trying to be
That's
that
kind of
bridge.
my thing is hopefully we can provide her some internal support
Sure.
to help keep this updated if need be.
And also sometimes depending upon how and I'm not trying to, I'm not saying anything negative about the Board of Health. They are overwhelmed. They are understaffed. And she can only update when information is sent to her.
Correct.
As an update.
So we're updating the website based off the information she's receiving
Correct.
from them, not internal.
Correct.
Because unfortunately we can't.
So,
Yep.
just clarifying.
Yep. So is she the one making the calling to make a recommendation
Yes.
to quarantine, and then the health department is the official?
Correct.
So parents might receive a phone call from her, and then it's their decision on what to do until they hear from the health department, would be a safe statement.
That's a very safe statement. As of Wednesday, starting about 9 a.m. is when that went into effect.
Okay.
And that came from Kareem, because I asked the question in our meeting. Because there was a lot of
Absolutely.
smoke around that one
Mhm.
in our county.
And we're not doing any testing here,
We do have some kits, but we're not testing.
but we do not test.
Any other?
Well, I just want to switch to end on a better note about pickup. Is since I got to experience pickup day one, which was, it was a little panic attacky. And I didn't make fun. I thought it was interesting to see looks on faces of administrators. So it was nice to see everyone understood that it was chaotic. But as the last week and this week is much nicer and it's not as chaotic from a parent standpoint. So I think I appreciate the change. I do like it even better than years past. So far, so good from my standpoint.
That's wonderful to hear.
The only comment that I have on drop off and pickup was and this is kind of to Mr. Kelly, but he can't control this. The Gordon food truck delivering at like that time was not ideal. So if you can work on that, that might. I know, I'm just kind of, I saw that and went, oh, this is going to take a little bit of time. So, no, but I agree. Everything has been going a lot smoother when it comes to pick up and drop off. So we appreciate that.
You're welcome. It's been a true team effort.
All right. Anything else? All right. Appreciate that. Moving on to Superintendent Standing Committee Reports, Personnel. So the Personnel Committee is actively working on Mr. Bloom's evaluation, and they are pending that based on us as board members getting our stuff to them. So it is on us, but they will be working on that. Audit and Finance.
Those minutes came out with the packet. Pretty good meeting. We did appreciate, I think I see that out there, the connection with facilities so that we can kind of pay attention to what facilities is already spending and where we are heading. So good dialogue, and we appreciated the postcard going out about our finance.
The one item that I'll add to the Audit and Finance Committee, one of the items that we brought to them, since it was a mixture of board members and community members, was we did talk about the Ohio Coalition for Equality and Adequacy. And with the information that was presented to them by myself, Kim, and Ms. Jacobs, they made a recommendation that they would probably be in favor, or not probably, that they would be in favor with us spending the money to go into that, knowing that there is a huge chance that we could see money leaving our district. So the amount of money that would leave the district would be far higher than the amount that we're spending to join the coalition. So that was what the committee is going to be recommending under that old business, just so everyone's aware.
So we're talking about the voucher program.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. Transportation and facilities.
So we met August 27th. Most of it surrounded about talking about a potential getting some PM programs going on. We asked the admin team to come up with a wish list or a to-do list so we can look at putting that in our permanent improvement tracker, kind of budget for those big items. Yes. Anything else that you can think of? That was about it. So thanks again for the community members being on it, Ed and Karen. We definitely appreciate that. So, and I think we're gonna not meet this month, but next month, so the admin team can develop that list. So,
All right. Thanks for your work on that one. Athletics and extracurricular. Okay. Districts and school policies.
The only thing I have to add is in regards to, we had made the request about the policy regarding the clubs, turning clubs to varsity and varsity to clubs. And I believe what we got back was that they don't have anything. And if we want something, we have to come up with it ourselves.
Okay. All right. Well, that will be something we'll work on and we'll go from there. Student achievement in liaison.
I actually have something to report. I'm so excited, okay? Because usually I have nothing to say about this. However, so the Ohio School Board Association, they are highlighting certain things that districts are doing. And a long time ago, if you remember, I asked Cassie about the Quest program and the plan on the page. And now that that's like actually developed and formalized, I have sent information to OSBA, and they are going to be highlighting our district via video stuff. So I will, as soon as I know when that's going to be posted, I will let everyone know. So that's super exciting. That's it. That's probably the last time I'm going to report on. the
No,
student
you will report on the outcome of that. So that is exciting that everyone's hard work in the district
Yeah.
is definitely going to be spotlighted
Mhm.
and shared throughout the state. So good job. Curriculum.
we didn't meet. So
Okay.
we're all good.
All right. Okay, thank you for all of the committee's works and reports. Moving on to old business. So this is to make a resolution. So the old business is the Ohio Coalition for Equality and Adequacy. This would be also known as the Ohio Against Vouchers, or Vouchers Hurt Ohio campaign, but this is what was presented at the last board meeting. From that, the to-dos, Ms. Jacobs sent out how much potentially we could lose. She sent out how much we are currently losing to vouchers, which as it stands right now was 0. How much it would cost us to enter into this, which was about $2,300, give or take a little bit of change. And then unfortunately, I did not get a response. I emailed them, but it was today. So I am not holding them up to it to ask who and how many school districts have joined at this stage.
Well, according to their website, because I look at it a lot, there have not been any major changes.
Okay.
And no large school districts have joined.
Okay, all right.
So that would be the case from the webpage, which unfortunately we saw the webpage and the Facebook were not always lined up and in sync, but that was the case. So I appreciate that.
When Dawn followed up with them, they had said that they try to keep the list of school districts on the website
page.
updated.
Okay.
So I do check it
Okay.
about weekly.
Okay.
And I have not seen Dayton Public Schools, I think is the largest school district on there.
Okay.
And no other large school districts are on there.
All right. So having said that, as mentioned in the Finance and Audit Committee did speak on it, but this is back on the table. So if anyone wants to.
Go ahead and make a motion that we approve joint Ohio Coalition on the floor of all of the activities and adequate money to have this requested amount.
Okay. Just checking. So no, I asked if she prepped you because that was a very good motion. So Kim is the first. Looking for a second. Linda is a second. So joining the coalition is the item that we are voting on. If you want to call the roll.
Can we have discussion on
Oh,
it?
sorry. Yes, now it's open to discussion. I'm sorry. Thank you.
So are we then looking at spending money at something that's not currently affecting us? As far as spending $2,300 where we're not affected at all, if we want to be the #1 school district, even in this county, or I'd go even for the state, why would we feel that the kiddos wouldn't want to come here and then go there? I'm all for supporting it and that kind of stuff, but is it appropriate to spend our district tax dollars when we're not being affected by it?
That's a fair question. When kicking it over, the fear that we have is this could easily turn into a recruiting tool. So people could be pulled away from Van Buren for either athletics or probably athletics, but for any number of reasons and go to a school in Toledo or even one within the county if they wanted to. The fear that some of the people I've talked with is once it starts, it will only snowball to that effect. So once one person or family sees that they can get this money, will that change other people's, or will more people start recruiting accordingly? I don't know if the answer to that is.
Okay.
So
How many students would it take to get to that $2,300?
one.
Loss.
Is
Just
that correct?
one?
So if one student took the voucher, we would probably be looking at the $2,300. Yeah, so
The 6,000.
6,000 is what the voucher is. So for one student, we would pretty much, so, and this is solely geared to that voucher, so.
My issue and my concern is, and I think I've consistently said this, is that we are a small school district and we are supporting something that will support the large school districts. We were given a presentation from Toledo Public Schools, and Toledo Public Schools is not putting their money where their mouth is. And that bothers me as a small school district, that we are being asked that something that's not affecting us right now, and it is affecting Toledo Public Schools right now, and they are not paying a dime for this. And that bothers me, that we are making a decision based on fear of what could happen. I understand vouchers are bad for schools, and I understand that there's a risk to our school district. But if they are so bad, why are the big school districts not putting money up too? And I know it's because it would cost them a lot more because they have a lot more pupils. And it bothers me that we're going for, if you look at the list of the school districts, half of them I don't even recognize. I've never even heard. They're really small districts. The ones that I do know of are districts our size or smaller. And it bothers me that we are being asked to support a lawsuit that other school districts are not supporting, even though I understand vouchers would hurt us theoretically in the future. That's all I have to say.
All right. Any other comments? Okay. Now, if you want to call the roll.
Ms. Ebright,
No.
Mr. Fisher,
No.
Ms. Thomas. Yes. Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Lightfoot.
Yes, motion carries. All right. Moving on to new business, treasurer's report.
I don't have a lot. Those numbers are
Predict that that's
essentially
gonna go.
static from last May because our new enrollment counts are not yet. I just received some new numbers, but even those are a little off because we don't have all of our preschool numbers included in those amounts yet. So, we'll keep an eye on that as we get to October. Once we get to the end of September, we'll have a better idea of our kiddos, and you'll see those numbers shift.
Kind of went out of order a little bit, but I need a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
First, looking for a second.
I'll second it.
Where's the second? Now any discussions, questions, or anything for Dawn? Yes, as she presented. Okay. Yeah, you did. It's okay. All right, no questions? So this will be to approve items 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the treasurer's report. If you'd like to call the roll.
Ms. Ebright,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas, Ms. Williams, Mr. Lightfoot.
Yes, motion carries and those items pass. Moving on to the superintendent's recommendations.
Pretty standard. You're gonna see bus drivers, bus aides, van drivers. I'd also like to point out that Mr. Newcomer found a third grade teacher very quickly. Very nicely done. That is Leslie O'Toole. I'd like to welcome her officially and also wanted to point out one more time that in here is also our school nurse for this coming school year, who I think is proving to be invaluable during this pandemic. And that's pretty much it. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Anyone want to make a motion to approve superintendent's recommendation? Linda is the first. Kim is the second. Any questions about, for Mr. Bloom, items 1 through 6 of the superintendent's recommendations? No questions. If you want to call the roll on approving items 1 through 6 of the superintendent's recommendation.
Ms. Ebright,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher.
Yes.
Ms. Thomas. Yes. Ms. Williams. Yes. Mr. Lightfoot.
Yes, motion carries. Those items are approved. Moving on to executive session. Looking for a motion to go into executive session to discuss the appointments, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, or compensation of public employees or officials, or the investigation of charges or complaints against public employees, licensures, and regulating individuals, unless the public employee, official license or regulation individual requests a public hearing per Ohio Revised Code 12122 G1.
So moved.
Andy's the first.
Oh, you missed the
Dang it. All right. I'm looking for a second then. Kim is a second. All right. So this is go into executive session. We'd like to call the roll.
Ms. Ebright.
Yes.
Mr. Fisher.
yes.
Ms. Thomas. Yes. Ms. Williams. Yes. Mr. Lightfoot.
Yes, motion carries. We are in executive session at 7:37. As mentioned in the before, there will not be any actions that we are taking a vote on coming out of executive session. So if you would like to stay for the end of the meeting, you're more than welcome. But once again, there will be no business items that we are taking action on. We'll be back. Thanks, everyone. See how long this
Also, why are there 4 channels on the mixer board if we only have 3? This stuff. And then once you get this in the side. I got ink inside. Oh yeah. Brush. what's in my bill? Stick with two, because by the time you're done, I'm taking this time. Open them curtains. You need anything next to you? Open them curtains. That's okay. They're not here at the moment, but they're gonna come back. And then once we adjourn. No, you're fine. You're fine. If they left for a couple minutes, they'll get back. Right, everybody, close up yours.
someone left it here for, force the kids back behind the stage working for the curtain.
Everyone good? Good. Back in session at 8:38. Welcome back to everyone. Is there any items to come before the board? Hearing or seeing none? Is anyone interested in adjourning the meeting? Kim is first.
Second.
Second. Discussion. Hearing none. If you want to call the roll on adjournment.
Ms. Ebright,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher,
Yes.
Ms. Thomas, Ms. Williams, Mr.